Hey girlies, and welcome back to A Girly Guide where I navigate you through womanhood and help you to be a better version of yourself. Today we're going to be talking about jealousy because I noticed that there are a lot of girls who are jealous out there, and we're going to find out if you're a jealous girl. Now, let's be real. I think that sometimes we don't even notice if we're being jealous or not because it kind of just happens. You know, when emotions hit us, if it's sadness or anger, it happens in an instant. So jealousy can happen in an instant. And sometimes you're living with it and you don't even realize it. Now I'm gonna give you girls 5 signs to tell if there's someone in your life who's jealous of you, or maybe there's some things you're doing that you need to fix, because jealousy is not it, okay? If you're coveting and you're focused on someone else's life and you're really desiring to be them, what kind of life is that, right? It leads to death. And why does it lead to death? Because it's gonna drive you absolutely crazy. You need to be in love with who you are because you were made perfect. Okay, so number 1 is comparison. Do you find yourself comparing yourself to this person? Or do you find that this person compares themselves to you? Now, this is really important because if someone's jealous of you or if you're jealous of them, you're gonna be kind of like, you know, what does she have? How much does she make at her job? Like, what is she doing here? What is she wearing? What's her body like? Does she eat right? Is she healthy? And like, you know, just this whole comparison of who can be better. Because the reason why people get jealous is because it messes with their ego and they find that someone is better than them and it makes them feel weaker. So in order to help themselves feel better, or if you're trying to make yourself feel better, you're gonna look for things that aren't that great, and that's gonna make yourself feel better, right? So that is a huge sign and we don't want that. Number 2 is they copy you or you copy them. So yeah, when we're scrolling Instagram, there's probably like a few people that you can get inspo from, like fashion inspo, outfit inspo. But if you're like really copying this person down to the T, you're probably jealous of them. Like, really think about it. Like, do you want to be this person? If that's the case, it's gonna need to stop, okay? Do you find that there's someone out there who's copying you? Now, if you spend a lot of time with somebody, then yeah, like it kind of just happens. But if someone is explicitly copying you, like, wow, I really like those shoes, like I want to get them, or like, wow, I really like that bag, or wow, I love this job, I think I want to get this job too. Now, there's 2 sides of this, because usually people who are insecure, they might see you in a really good light and they might try to replicate a few things, which is fine. But if you see someone copying things down to a T in a way that you feel is absurd, they're probably jealous of you. And number 3, I think that a lot of people don't understand this one, but they really downplay you. Like anything, like I'm talking anything. Like if you have a really good idea or you're clearly an intelligent woman and you say something like, oh, you know what would actually be a really good idea? If we go to this restaurant and then we go here, then it would, like, you just come up with like this perfect plan and the other person is like, no, like that's not that great. Like, we should do this instead. They kind of just downplay anything that you do, even if it is your accomplishments as well. Because I think that one is spoken on more than just anything. You have to really think about this one because it goes into anything that you do. If you ever feel like someone is constantly being dismissive towards you and really trying to downplay everything that you do, whether you talk about a new job, whether you're talking about a boyfriend, whether you're talking about your family, they'll find something and really try to be like, oh no, it's not that great, or your opinion doesn't really matter. They just can't in their minds take the fact that you have so much to offer the world, okay? And I'm just gonna be honest with you, this is how it goes. And you need to look at yourself too, like, are you doing these things? Number 4, I put, oh yeah, okay. So I don't have it for you copycats, inverted compliments, and tear you down, right? So this is a good one. So this kind of goes into what I just said about being teared down, is they kind of overanalyze you and they'll say things like, they just look at you a little bit funny, or maybe they'll like giggle at you or something like that. Like, they'll specifically look for you. They'll look physically at you and they'll look mentally through you, and they'll try to analyze what could be better or what something that they don't like about you, and they try to make it seem bad. So if someone's like downplaying you like that, that's also something as well, which I kind of already said, but they're very competitive with you. Now, this is a huge one. If you find that someone is being competitive with you, they probably are jealous of you, because if someone is competing with you and not themselves, it says a lot about them, and it kind of reveals that they are jealous of you. Because if you think about it, why are you competing with me unless you want to feel better about yourself and I'm making you feel less than? Why am I making you feel less than unless you're jealous of me? There should be no reason why you're looking at another woman and you're like, oh, I need to compete with her. I need to be better than her. Why? That's not a good mindset to have. And if you're in that mindset, you need to get out of it immediately. It isn't okay. It's not going to help you to grow. It's going to help you stay miserable. That's what it's going to help you do. So get out of that mindset. It's not okay. Now, this is something, oh my gosh, this is the craziest one because it's like so spot on, this one. So number 5, right? They humiliate you, they embarrass you, and they talk about you behind your back. Now, this is a huge, huge, huge one. The reason why people will do this is because they really do try to make themselves look better to other people, not just themselves. So if they're downplaying you to your face, it is likely they're probably even doing it behind your back even worse. Like, they'll go to their friends and they'll say something like, oh yeah, do you know what Vanessa was wearing? Like, yeah, she's like really not doing so great. Like, she needs to start acting more mature and she just don't like what she's wearing and she just looks like a child. Like, now this is just like some stupid example, but if someone's talking about you in a negative way, they probably are jealous of you. Like, there's no actual reason to hate somebody, right? Unless like somebody murdered your family and you like genuinely hate them. Okay, but if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, why are you talking about somebody? Why are you ever talking about somebody in a hateful manner? It literally doesn't make sense, and you really have to analyze why people do the things that they do, because there's always a hidden meaning behind it. So if somebody's doing that to you, they probably are jealous of you. Like, in real life, I actually have a story like this. I had a girl talk about me to one of our mutual friends, and I kind of knew that it was happening because the other girl started saying things to me, and I was like, why is this happening? Like, I just don't understand. And you know, after analyzing and really doing some thinking, I was like, this person is jealous of me. And I'll be really honest with you, you don't want to hang out with people like that because they're going to tear you down. If you feel like you have a friend that is tearing you down, analyzing you, they are not your friend. And if you are that type of person, you're like, let me really analyze my ways because maybe I am jealous. It's all right. Like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe even switch up your ways and maybe even, you know, ask that person for forgiveness, because at the end of the day, although you might feel like they are superior to you, and even if they are in certain areas, you should be like inspired by that person, right? Because that will go to show you that you'll never be able to grow. They tell you that you should be in a room with people who are better than you. You shouldn't be the best person in the circle, right? So there should be an area that everyone has a strength in and we all build off of each other. But if you're just jealous, how do you expect to grow? It's not gonna happen. Coveting that's not it. If you're on Instagram all day and you're starting to get depressed and you're looking at these girls and you're like, oh, I wish I looked like that. Let me zoom in, her waist is so tiny, and you're feeling bad about yourself, that is also a form of jealousy. Jealousy comes in the form of sadness and anger. You should never be looking at people like this. If you see something that you really enjoy, inspiration should spark in your mind. Wow, look at that girl in the gym. She is really disciplined. She is really hardworking. That's the kind of mindset that you need to be having, not, well, she probably doesn't eat anything. Why say something like that? Jealousy is not cute. Cut it out, okay? So that's pretty much it for this video. This is just a way for you to become more self-aware for how you think. It is a heart issue and it is not okay, because we're not going to be living here miserable, okay? We're here to analyze ourselves and we're here to get better. So if you like this video, please subscribe and like. I'm going to be posting a video every single day because I want you girls to grow up. This is what we need to do, because we need to be the best versions of ourselves so we can contribute to the world, right? We're made for goodness. Well, love you guys. Bye.